Good evening, everybody. So today I've got a little deck tech for you. So we're going to be previewing my take on Lilith Loop for the current English format BT5. Now, what I'm doing with Loop is a little bit different. So you would probably see my Loop into the more of a controlling bracket. So I call it Lilith Loop Control, and the people I played it against say, you know, there's a lot of ways for you to kill and interact with things, which is what I want to be doing. I want to be doing busted things and also keeping my opponent from doing as many busted things. So we're going to go through the cards in the deck list. We're going to talk about them, how they interact with each other, and kind of the plays that you can make and what you need to be doing and how you kind of want to think about that. So we start out with our eggs. Now, in all honesty, this is probably your most basic egg right now. If you're running purple, you're most likely running this egg just because it has the inheritable on deletion trigger draw one, discard one, which is great. So the whole point of this deck is I have to get 10 cards in my trash, thus activating my Jack Raids, which allows me to loop, which is what I want to be doing. We'll talk about that more as we get there. The next egg that we're running is Digimon. To be fair, there's even thought process of like, hey, I probably don't even need this last egg in here, but that draw, you might need that extra draw. Also, there have been situations where this retaliation has come into effect, you know, where they go into a Chaosmon, and the only thing they can swing over has this Xiaomon underneath with retaliation. It's nice extra, it's something to play around, but honestly, when you flip your egg over, and this is the first egg you flip over, always feels bad. So as for the rookies for the deck, you're running 4 Gabumon. So Gabumon, play cost of 3s, the evolve. Your ideal first play in this deck, what feels good for me as a first play, flip over a Dimimera, evolve it into a Gabu in Raising Area, and then play a Takumi and pass your opponent with 2 memory. That feels really good to me. So Gabu, his on deletion, draw 2, then trash 1. Really good card here. It's another thing that's just trying to get doing. So what I want to do is I want to get this Dimimera, then this Gabumon, and then bring it up, evolve it into a Meramon, which is over here, and then swing, and hopefully die into security. Therefore, we're putting these 3 cards going to my security, plus 2 from the inheritables. Next on our list is Gazimon. So Gazimon, your opponents can't gain memory except with Tamer effects. This card, so we don't have sideboards currently in the Digimon TCG. Maybe one day we'll get them, but right now we do not have them. This card specifically stops a lot of busted things that other decks are doing. Specifically blue. Blue will gain so much memory in a turn, it's insane. Or your opponent can't hit Hammer Spark. They can't cast their Blinding Rays because this just keeps them from gaining memory. Minus their Tamer effects, which sometimes I'll just sit this on the board and it'll stay there for a large majority of the game. Like, hey, there's no way. And then this feels really good when I swing into security, hit a Hammer Spark, and then just say no. Your next card is Labramon. So Labramon's your basic, this is what I'm going to hard play turn 1 if I don't have Takumi in my hand. On play, you draw 1, discard 1. So as you guys have kind of got that thing, you want to be filling up your graveyard. This lets me filter my hand as well. So it lets me, hey, I have the perfect hand to go into this next thing. Your next rookie is Guilmon. If this card was deleted by an effect, gain 1 memory. So that's an on deletion effect. This will come up later in the actual this will come up later in the deck tech because it has one card that we're looking for that actually does a lot with this. So what you want to be doing is you want to be playing this Guilmon out of your trash, then deleting it with Chimeramon, and it is always gas. Which I need to add the last Chimeramon in here. So as I said, you take this Guilmon, you bring him in, you delete him off of that Chimeramon, you gain a memory for doing it. So that has many a times kept it to my turn, which feels really good. Next are our Viomons. So it's a 2 cost 2 costs to evolve, which is a little bit more than Devimon's, but 6,000 DP is a lot in this format. That's a lot better than 5,000. You might think that's kind of crazy, 1,000 DP more, but this puts me out of range of a lot of cards like your yellow Mega that on play does 5,000, minus 5,000 DP or minus 4,000 DP, whatever it is. So having one more DP, and it helps me with Rookie Rush. So your Rookie Rush has a lot of rookies right now that will come at you for 5,000 DP. This blocks them, and that's what we want to be doing. So our Meramon, this is our 1 cost blocker, our 1 cost Digivolution. So 5,000. Usually this is going to die in security when I swing into it. That's going to be my goal there, swinging with this. Or it's going to, this is one of the few cards that I have in the deck that do help us turbo evolve. And we'll talk about other things that people like to run in their deck, but I just don't know if it's as good as what we currently could be doing. In all honesty, for BT6, when that comes out, when Wizardmon comes out, this will be Wizardmon, because Wizardmon has the inheritable when you play an option card, gain a memory. So it'll be doing more broken things that we want to be doing. And of course, you have 2 of the starter deck Devimon's 1 cost evolution. Sometimes it's good to choke your opponent on memory, and that's what we'll be doing with this. Doing our best to choke them. Then we go into our level 5s. Level 5 here, you have Chimeramon. So you delete one of your other Digimon to delete an opponent's level 5 Digimon. And that's a 7 cost to play it. So you hard play it on your hand. There have been a bunch of times where my opponent turbos into a 5, and they play it on like turn 2, and they give me 3 or 4 memory or something like that. And I just play Chimeramon, pop the rookie that I have on the field from breeding, pass them 4 memory, wipe their whole board. So this card is really good. Now, when this card becomes really, really good is when you can do it for free. And that's what we'll be doing when we talk about our level 7s for the deck, because that's how we really start getting silly in this deck. Next, Lady Devimon. And this is, I feel, probably one of the best level 5s in the game right now, which is really crazy because Purple has access to 2 of the best level 5s there are. It has Lady Devimon and the other level 5 in this deck. But Lady Devimon, she is a graceful charity, so when I play her, when I Digivolve, I will get to draw 3 cards and then discard 2. So draw 3, discard 2. So we're filtering that hand. As you guys see, I'm filling up my graveyard, filtering my hand. And then her inheritable effect is insane. So once per turn, when you use an option, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon. Yes. Yes. So literally just popping things off the field. Now, a lot of the criticism about this deck is it just gets run over by Rookie Rush, but I feel like I have so many ways to answer Rookie Rush in this deck, in this build of my deck, that honestly, the times I've played against Rookie Rush, it's felt really good, especially if I can open with a Takumi, where I know every time they swing, they're going to have to give me at least 1 memory to do so. And then I can turbo into this and just start popping things off the board, swinging into it. It feels good. With Lady Devimon, really good. Next one is the Black War Growlmon. This thing, also pretty gas. This card alone made me want to build a kind of a more aggressive version of this deck, but that's a different deck tech video. So he has his main Digiburst 3. You play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. Any on play effects of this Digimon play this effect don't activate. So we currently don't have a level 3 that has Rush, so I can't do as many broken things with this, but I can fill up my grave, which is good, get rid of all the stuff that I don't need underneath it. And then he has an inheritable. When attacking once per turn, you may delete one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon. So what we do here is, we Digiburst, bring it back, or we turn this, we go up through our chain, put this on top of an Omnimon Zwart. Omnimon Zwart brings out 2 things. I swing, delete it, boop, put that in the trash, go forward. Or its friend here, Chaos Gallantmon. We'll talk about that in just a second. But Black War Growlmon is one of your ways to get aggressive. So you'll see other versions of this deck, and they'll run the Mat and Tie, which give you security attack +2. I don't want as many cards that don't do things, and running those keeps me from putting in some of the options that I really like for this deck. So next, the queen, Lilithmon herself. So when digivolving, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may return 2 purple option cards from your trash to your hand. Well, what we do is we put 2 cards like Jackraid, which cost us 0 memory and gain us memory, in our trash. Digivolve for 3, get those back, play them again. Her other ability is once per turn, when you use an option card, gain 2 memory. So as you can see, 1 Jackraid now nets me 3 memory, which puts it way back on my side of the board. I can tell you how many times I've gone into Lilithmon and then been like, boom, Jackraid, Jackraid, Jackraid. I'm back at 6 due to the Jackraids and how many cards I have in my graveyard. Then I hard play into Zwart, put myself to 0, or put myself to 5, depends on where I get to, or put myself to -1 in their board, bring back a Guillemon, bring back a Chimeramon, put it back to my side of the board, swing, pop, bring Lilith back. It's a whole thing. So this is the main thing in your deck. A lot of people, when playing this deck, I'll see them put their cards up into the battle zone before they really have the loop established. So yes, this ability for digivolving is great, and it doesn't happen in the breeding area. But you know what's better than this? Having a Lilithmon on board. So sometimes you have to think about that. Do I want to bring this 8000 DP Devimon out there, showing it as a major target to my opponent, saying, hey, if you have a way to kill this, do it now? Or should I leave this back in Raising, get it up to Lady Devimon, and then wait until I can evolve into Lilithmon? And that's one thing that I feel like people mess up a lot on, because they're just like, oh, I want to get it out there and go. And then you're like, well, tap your thing down, attack it when you're playing green, or negate it off the board when you're playing against yellow, or strip all the sources when you're playing against blue. So just, you need to be smart about how you're playing it. This deck is a very thought-intensive deck. If you don't want to think a lot while you're playing Digimon, don't play this deck. So our next level 6, I have 2 singletons, so I have 1 copy of Anubismon. So when digivolving, you can play 1 level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost. On your turn, you play Digimon from your trash, that Digimon gains Rush. I can't tell you how many games I have stolen just by digivolving into this. So, boom, my Digimon gets Rush. So one of the craziest things I did, so I put this Anubismon, on top of my Black War Growlmon there. I brought back the Guillemon, I swung with it, it survived security checks somehow. Then I swung with the Anubismon, deleted the Guillemon, gained a memory, swung again with the Anubismon and won. That is just some of the play lines that you can do with this deck. And Anubismon gives anything that comes out of your trash Rush. So if you have this on the field, and then you go into a Zwart on one of your other things, both of those Digimon that you're bringing back are about to have Rush. It's pretty good. Rounding out the end of the level 6, I have Chaos Gallantmon here. So when you digivolve, you delete one of your other Digimon to delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon. So killing level 5s is always great, feels good. And then once per turn, when one of your Digimon is deleted, you may play 1 level 3 purple Digimon card from your trash without paying its memory cost, and it doesn't get its on play effects. So I can bring back Gazi if I need it, or I can bring back Guillemon if I need it. So basically just recycling through these cards, you're going to be just putting things in the trash and then bringing it out. That's what this deck does. It has all kinds of graveyard shenanigans. And then level 7s, this is the card that makes the deck possible. So when you digivolve, you trash the top 3 cards. So a lot of people think, oh, I don't want to play my Lilithmon until I get the loop set up. I say, this is just my recommendation of it, you want to be going into this Zwart as fast as humanly possible, because it's going to do a bunch of things for you. First of all, it's going to fill up your graveyard, which is great. You want to do that. So you're going to get 3 in there regardless. Then you're going to get to bring 2 back. So it's going to make your board wide. But one of the ways that you can just win with this deck is just making your board wide. you get really wide really fast. Now, after you put those top 3 in, then you can play 2 black and or purple Digimon cards with play cost of 8 or less from your trash without paying their memory cost. So that is every level 5 and down in the deck can be played from my trash. So if you got to bring a Chimeramon to kill something, if you got to bring back a Labamon, if you want to bring back Lady Devimon to Digivolve into. So that by itself is really good. It has a second effect. When attacking, you return 1 level 6 Digimon card in this Digimon's Digivolution cards to its owner's hands to delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon with a play cost of 12 or less. Oh boy, this is what makes it possible. So you Digivolve into Omnimon Zwart, you swing. Well, first thing you're going to do when you Digivolve into them, you're going to bring back some of your level 5s. They're coming back to the battlefield. Then when you swing, even if they don't have something to delete, you can still return the level 6 Digimon to your hand. So, boop, you return the Lilith to your hand, attack, then you Digivolve your Lilith again on top of one of those level 5s that you brought back from the grave. And you can just keep doing that until you run out of Omnimon Zwart. So we run 3 in the deck. I could probably run a 4th, to be honest with you, but 3 feels good. And there is not a lot of space in this deck. This deck is it's kind of, hey, you need these cards have to be here. These cards have to be here. Maybe you can get rid of these, but in the meta, you don't want that right now. So where do we get our wiggle room? Well, like I said, some people run Matt and Ty. I'm not as big a fan of that, so I run options. And I feel like if you're playing purple, why not run the most powerful options that purple has? Your deck is all about options. I can't tell you how many times I've had 2 Liliths on board and got to Trump Sword something for 3. That feels awesome. So Trump Sword, I have a 1-up Trump Sword, and it feels really good throwing this up in security. I wish this just said delete one of your opponent's Digimon. That would be awesome, but we don't have that card in purple yet. But hitting this off security, that's won me quite a few games where they're going to go swing for game. They hit Trump Sword, I kill their unsuspended thing, and they go, oh, well, that changes what I'm doing this turn. Yeah, of course it does, because I, for free, get to kill your thing, which is really good. And this is another option card which can be returned to your hand by Lilith. So if you don't know how to kill something, they've got a big thing on the board, something beefy, Trump Sword it is. The next card is what makes the deck go. We have 4 copies of Jack Raid. So Jack Raid, it says gain 1 memory. Gain 1 memory for every 10 cards in your trash. And then if you hit it off security, gain 2 memory. So the gain 1 memory for every 10 cards trash. There's times that this has gained me 2 to 3 memory, especially in those long games. So looping these with Lilith is a really big deal. Next one, I have another singleton. I run Hell's Gate. Delete one of your opponent's level 6 or higher Digimon. So sometimes, let's say they run like an Omnimon, find a way to wipe my board or do something silly like that. Or this is really good against like Omnimon security control and stuff like that, where they're like, okay, give you 10, here, I'm going to play this Omnimon. You're like, all right, well, Hell's Gate for 6, kill that, then let's continue on with my turn. Just good, powerful options to be running. I run 1 Mega Digimon Fusion. So there could be a cause to run more of these, but to be honest, once I've seen 1, that's pretty much all I need. If I get more than 1 of these, that is where I want to be, because I don't want to be tucking my Zwarts. Eventually, I'll have enough memory that I can just play Zwart and do other stuff on my turn. But this will help you, especially the first time you're going to run the combo up. Do it. Go your first Zwart Mega Digimon Fusion into it and just gas. And I'm drawing and discarding. Like, I'm filtering my hands so much. I found when I ran more than 1 of these, I was always pitching 1 to trash because I only needed 1 in hand. Now, I guess it'd be nice if you would like to see them more often, you know, get to see a lot more of them. But I feel like I see enough of these that I don't need another one in the deck. Single tamer. So my only memory tamer is Matt Ashita. I would love if I only see this thing off security. Now, here's the problem with here's the problem with Matt Ashita. I would run more, but his on play isn't a may. It doesn't say you may return one purple option card from your hand or one purple Digimon. I have to do that. And there were 2 games where they hit Matashita off security. It came back to my field, which took a card out of my trash, which then put me at 9 cards in trash instead of the 10, which is the magic number I needed. So this is a good tamer. Really what I want to do is hit it off security late in the game, or play it early when I can, or get one of my Liliths that died back with it. Hopefully in the next set we get a little bit better options of things like that. And rounding out the final parts of the deck, so we have Takumi Aiba. So when one of your Digimon digivolves, you may suspend this tamer to trigger draw 1. When I tell you that I had all 3 of these on the field, and then I played Lady Devimon as well, it was awesome. So I drew 3 for Devimon, and then 3 for Takumi. So I drew 6, discarded 2. It felt really good. And another thing with this, so the few times, I say few, but I got to play against a couple times. Couple times that I played against Rookie Rush decks, this was awesome. This is a gas turn 1 play. I did turn 1 this, then we got another one like turn 3 that we put down, I drew into, and then they swung, gave me 2 memory, and the last one came out of security. So this, literally the person I was playing Rookie Rush saw the 3 Takumis down, just looked at me and said, all right, let's go to next game. It's okay, all right, I'll take it. Let's go to the next game. All right. So this card right here is a really good thing to be running against Rookie Rush. In the real deck, I have the alt arts of it. It's just a nice card in general. So that's kind of my take on Lilith Loop Control. I really feel like this is a good list. I like this list. I play with it a lot. I've gone through, a couple times with it. I can tell you all the people, I say all, but a lot of people at the game shop, they see it, they groan a little like, oh God, not Lilith Loop. Like, yeah, well, sorry, but in the meta right now, I wouldn't say it's nowhere near tier 0, so it has its matchups that it's weak against. I feel really good against it into yellow. Honestly, does not feel really good into Hexablow, to be honest with you, because Hexablow, when I bring all them boys back from the graveyard, that just gives them more memory with their Joes. So we've got to find ways to kill the Hexablow before it can really take off. Green, I feel okay in my matchup with green. It's really a toss-up either way. Feel really good against red with it right now, but red isn't actually in the greatest spot right now in this format. In BT5, it'll get stronger next format by a lot. Other purple decks, I don't have any problem there playing against other purple decks. Rookie Rush, like I said, most of the games I played against Rookie Rush have felt good, but when you lose security really early, let's say turn 1 or turn 2 and they're swinging 2 things, your deck is going to struggle. So you got to find a way to kind of overcome that, if it makes sense. So that has been my Lilith Loop Control video. If you have any questions about the deck, go ahead and drop them in the comments below. If you would like to see my take on other decks, what kind of things you think I'm building, what you think I'd want to see in the next set, or what you want to see in the next set, or if you just need a little help looking at a deck list, send me a message or drop it in the chat below, and I would love to check out your list. So this has been Shiny Shoes. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also follow me at twitch.tv/ShinyShoes, where hopefully this card game gets an online client. I can just stream that all day, every day. See you guys next time.